Hola. I have a issue. It's once again porn on my computer. Well, I just had candy, and I'm guessing that had food coloring. Um, it looks orange, whatever. It doesn't taste like anything. Um, so artificial flavoring and obviously food coloring. Um, okay, I'm gonna try to focus. I just signed up back for a Murda Farah Franca. It's like a mob 1930 game that I played in 2007. 2007? Mm-hmm. Um, I played for 2 3 months. In the summer, I was really sick and kind of depressed and lazy. And this was when I was getting off my medication for depression um, and anxiety, things that they prescribed me for bipolar, which I didn't have. Um, Long story short, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder last summer. Had my first panic attack in August, um, and it's just a result of not dealing with what happened 11 years ago. Well, 10 years ago now, going on 11. Um, and I will share that post-traumatic stress disorder story later. But um, my current issue right now with my laptop that my dad was using. Um, I was just concerned. My dad really isn't computer literate. Like, he knows how to turn the computer on. He knows how to um, click for things on browsers and find videos. As long as it's in Korean. My Windows, I have a this is a Windows XP. This is a really old netbook, and my other is upgraded to Ubuntu and Windows 7 as of now. But I just if my dad could click around and find porn um on on just a regular Korean site or whatever, I don't watch anything. I don't really like to watch um Asian stuff, Asian media. Um, well, these days I don't have the time to, but um, I just I'm just wondering if my dad, who's 50, as of this January, um 52. He's 53 as of this January, and if a 53-year-old who barely knows how to, um, he doesn't even know what a URL bar search bar is. He doesn't know anything about um, what you're watching on your laptop. So if he could find out in 2 clicks or a day or like in a few hours in the privacy of his own home, I'm just wondering like how a 7-year-old or a computer that doesn't have parental um, passwords and these things in place. Um, I mean, for those parents that aren't as tech savvy as my generation, I guess. Um, so I'm just wondering because I see my producer friends that are in their early 30s, and I see the difference between the 5 year gap. Um, Perhaps because I grew up with MP3s, I grew up with um, I was always into tech stuff. But I just and I'm very like analytical and I like to get my hands dirty, meaning I like to figure out how things work. Um, I'm not in regards to um, me being female, and I mean I do probably do more emotional, compassionate work than I guess my male counterparts. But I just yeah, that's a concern. If my dad, who clicks around on online for few um, movies or videos, whatever it may be, if my dad could do it, I think a 6 year old boy could find it. A 6 year old girl could find it. Um, Confessional. This is 5 minutes. I I can remember I was groped by my friend's dad when I was fifth grade, so 9, 10. Um, I think 10 I had a trainee bra on, barely developed, but getting trained for the bra, so to speak. And I didn't know the word, but I used the word rape because I didn't have a different. I didn't like that's how it wasn't in my vocabulary. Let's say that period. And then when he groped me, I took her to the bathroom and I told her that he raped me. He fondled me once. Uh, I mean, not once. The story is we were playing hide and seek in their apartment. The dad was the finder. Um, my friend, to protect her name, I'll call her Y. Um, and her brother and I hid in their apartment. And when he found me, he re- reached for my chest. Um, I still remember that, and I never went back to their apartment after that. So um, I just figured if if I've experienced that at one time, I was just wondering if he was abusing his wife and if she was molested. Incest is never pretty. And I just, I don't know, my mind gets all rattled up after um, things like that. So I was just concerned. Period. Um, she did really well in school and got a page work for I think NBC or something. So she was doing really well. I think she was with Conan for a while, and I don't know what kind of internship or position it was, um, but yeah, um, I'm just gonna mention about the dad. I think they were Muslim. They were definitely Egyptian or like Middle Eastern. I forget. I think probably they were Egyptian. Um, but yeah, this was when I was 10, so it was like almost 20 years ago. Um, 95 maybe in Astoria. Um, I don't know why I'm doing a confessional thing again. Um, oh yes, the point is, if my dad can find porn, how can I prevent a 6-year-old or a 9-year-old or whatever year old to find some kind of imagery and all these sites? Ooh, sorry, I get all the that reaction is like it makes me violently ill, like just thinking about child porn and um exploitation in that way. Um, I should sleep more. I should try to really sleep more, but I really want to figure this out. I need to um hook up with uh human trafficking. Well, I mean HCAC that I'm partners or volunteering with um for next year's national campaign. Um, I think perhaps the strategy would be to, I mean, obviously to reach out to lawmakers, but I don't do activism. I don't do advocacy and all that. So I have to find the way that I know how to get this going. I don't know. I really need to sleep. This is like day 3 of like sleep deprivation, so my eyes are my eyes are red. You can't see in this light, but when I see in the mirror, it definitely has bloodshot lines going through. Um, Peace. Pray for anti-child porn, kitty porn, all that. Um, that industry to be. I mean, it's billions of dollars at stake here, so definitely not an overnight transformation, but maybe little can be done in 2012, and we have, I have March, 8 months or so to work on it because I need to change this. It really sickens me, all this trauma and everything that these people. Um, oh, so these people that I'm mentioning is after QWFF2, Queens World Film Festival, second annual. Two is from the second annual. Um, I just I don't even know how to put in words what kind of films are out there, and um, things are like things on Hulu, for instance. Everyone, not everyone, but um, excuse me, not everyone, but you guys know about Hulu.com. Um, now they have Hulu Plus, which I think charges for subscription and whatnot. Um, but all these sites that are um, uploading content, uploading product, videos, and now in this day and age of viral videos being so mainstream and like it's on every news network, the hottest thing, the next trend, the hottest hashtag trending, whatever it is, it's it's even in just local news. So I don't even know how um, conversation could be steered in. I mean, I know how. Like when I watched this documentary, I think they called it a rockumentary because it was, I think it was through Not for Sale. Um, the venue I went to was a screening in New York City a few years back, and I think this was when Not for Sale was launching their nonprofit work, and they were doing work with Restore NYC, um, from my recollection, and NOMI Network, like NOMI Network was, I think, another big one, for safe housing women and children. I don't know if they work with children, but definitely women. Um, I mean, girls. Tragically, I think the market calls for girls, and I mean, I don't have children. I've never been pregnant. I don't even know what it's like to be a mom, but I know what it's like to be a nanny, and I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. Let's say if I had an 8-year-old daughter, being sold so that I could have food on the table. That happens in India. That happens um, more likely than you would want it to. Realistically, right now, with all these human trafficking and um, violations going on in law enforcement and corruption and all this dark deeds happening in the world. Why am I getting so deep again? I can't help. My thoughts are always centered on um, global news mostly and hot topics. And I mean, it's not. I don't want to talk about Armageddon and all that. Well, you saw the movie in 1998. I did with my ex-boyfriend then when I was 13. That was a good movie. I liked it. But the idea of that is actually not really far-fetched now. I mean, you've seen NASA do amazing work. They have satellites going all over it, orbiting and functioning in not perfect harmony, but um, what scientists can do with the funds that I mean, they spend so much money on life out of Earth. I think if NASA spend all that money on people that are living right now, I think problems like water, not people not having enough water, malnutrition, like you know, with the whole new trends with Hunger Games. I mean, that book probably became really famous because the concept of that is if it comes to that, I mean, is that realistically what's gonna happen? I don't even, yeah, like how do you kill each other for food? Like the whole when there was a film that featured people eating each other because of they I think the story was they crashed in the middle of nowhere. I think there was a lot of snow and the aircraft kind of was stuck, and for a source of food they had to eat each other. And I don't know the title of this film. I think I've seen it or heard it when I was preteen, so 15 years ago. Um, if you know the title of that film, you could Twitter me. Um, but yeah, this is another really long, deep. How are we gonna solve world issues? Talk with Chrissy, little old Chrissy. What can I do to change this world? Um, there was when I was younger, the one campaign was trying to launch something. I think they were trying to um, unify like U2 and Brad Pitt and um, UNICEF workers so that issues in Africa and issues in um, Asia and South America and all the continents obviously are shared. Now I think more than ever, I mean I'm doing this in the privacy of my own home. I'm not hurting anyone. Maybe I'm hurting my mom's ears when she's sleeping. She yells for little things. Um, but like this is my. Why are you rambling for 20 minutes again? Ugh, Lord. I was really disheartened to see Jason. I think it was on TMZ or something. Jason, the guy from Sony. He got naked and started to. I don't know. He started. The one thing is he got naked and started walking around with their cars. Um, when I when I was in San Francisco when I was 8 in '93, my dad didn't have a car, so I remember walking from where my aunt lived, which was a private residence, really nice place, um, to where we could. I think he was trying to like buy me toys or something, or like he didn't want to stay home, but he wanted to like walk and experience San Francisco without a car, um, which is not a good idea, especially the part that I think she was probably in Oakland or Walnut Creek. Um, yeah, I don't know which city, but not recommended to walk in California. Maybe it's because when I was 8 and I watched. This was when Mary Poppins came out, or that was the first movie that I saw. Um, and Home Alone was my first. Um, I watched that film in Korea in Seoul. That was before Home Alone 3. It was the original Home Alone. I was like 6 or something. Um, and my dad, when he promised me, one thing that I remember my dad doing, he bought me the Home Alone book, and I think the name, I think so, I still remember the name of the toy store. It's a Duncan Chase uh, factory or something. I gotta go back to my sources, but he promised to take me to the toy store when he um promised me like a comforting thought to come to the States. I still remember that because I guess that's how you try to um, make my transition easier for me, knowing I guess some of the challenges of immigration and all that good stuff. But it was a fictional. The point of this is my dad promised me that, but he didn't know that that uh, toy store was a fictional, made up name. Um, I think what ended up happening was we went to FA Shorts, and I think he bought me a puppy or something. It was a Dalmatian thing, I guess. That was another popular thing. Um, a popular Disney movie that was um, always popular. I mean, 101 Dalmatians has been around for ages, so I'm sure it was popular in '93 also. Hmm, yeah, I shared a lot about my dad and my the year that we immigrated, which was 1993. February 1st was the date. Um, I I was the vice president in first grade in Korea. And then I just mentioned that because I've always been the bullying, not bullying, the leadership type. Period. Um, I think I was a vice president because I was a girl. Little sexism there. I think the president was a boy. I don't remember him, but I'm assuming it was a boy. Because I was a vice president. And I never went to second grade. True fact. I graduated first grade, came to the States, went to third grade for 2 months, and went to fourth grade. Um, and I think that was they were trying to eliminate me being held back or left back or um, keep my age like the age that I was here. They didn't want to switch that up because sometimes when they come from a different country to here, usually they change. Um, the person gets a year left back or seemingly need time to adjust because of the language barrier and cultural shock and all that. So my accent is starting to turn Korean. I get tongue tied when I'm um I mean I always think and speak and act in English these days, but when I get really tired, I think my language starts to go first. Um, my accent starts to come back because your motor skills get. Um, it's I guess how to explain it is it's like I'm high, but I'm not on drugs. When you're sleep deprived, which is a form of torture, by the way. You've seen it in movies, V for Vendetta, um, other communism films, I'm sure. Um, yeah, sleep deprivation is a huge problem, and I don't think I have insomnia. I just think I'm thinking way too much about these issues that I can't change, and I'm just frustrated because it applies to my own daily life also. And I shall go to church today and pray about it and talk to the English ministry pastor, Joe, who's my age, and not that age it matters. I think he's probably way more responsible than I am. He's the father of a 4 year old, been married, etc. But he's also the son of the senior pastor, so maybe kind of um, expected role of leadership. Just how Korean churches are run, or how not Korean churches are run, how church politics plays out with Korean American culture. Um, I don't even know what I'm saying. My hair smells good. Um, I had to take away all the. I showered, so I mean, my hair's straight again. I had so much hairspray and chemicals on it before that it's actually really probably. I probably can't do it anymore in the spring because of my allergies. I'll probably kill myself, and I don't think you want to see that on screen. I'm doing a lot of research on my sinus issues. I am allergic to dust for sure. I mean, most people are. I wonder if I had dust mites in my bed. Maybe time to change my mattress, or I don't know. I don't. We don't have bed bugs. That's for sure. And I think I'm just creating worst case scenarios in my brain again. So I tend to do that a lot when I'm sick. Um, oh, I wanted to show you my neti pot. Neti pot? You know the whole craze about the ceramic thing that you pour in your nose, and it was just supposed to clear out your sinuses, like here and here. If you don't know your bone structure, you have a skull, right? But here, there's space that creates the sinus inside, underneath your cheekbones. Cheekbones, sinuses, it's like right here. And it's obviously attached to your nose and mouth, and your esophagus, the whole intestine, like the whole system. I'm not going to anatomy right now. I can't even, I can't even say anatomy right now. So the whole, I'll just show you tomorrow. I just got it from a drugstore. It was like $10, and I think it's actually better than the functionality of it is better than the ceramic neti pot that everyone talks about. Wow, I've made a 30-minute video. It's 27 minutes. I could talk straight for 27 minutes? I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think you're watching this, so it doesn't matter. Um, I I probably would edit this. I hate editing. I hate the process of rendering. I hate the process of. I'm a big picture person, but I do the small details. That doesn't make sense. I do like to work with small details. That's a better way to say it. But I definitely am a big picture person, and I prefer to work with ideas and ideologies than concrete structure and format. Oh well, always room to use both left and right side of my brain, right? I need to sleep. I am going to bed.